Mantour Ministries presents the Mantour Guy podcast. We may talk about football. We could mention bacon. We might reference Rocky movies. We'll probably discuss the Mantour conferences, but we'll definitely talk about how to grow in our walk with God. Here's your host, the Mantour Guy, Jamie Holden.
Guys, welcome back to the Mantour Guy podcast. Jamie Holden here, and I am so happy to have you join us this week once again. Well, guys, this week I have decided I'm going to throw caution in the wind and talk to you about a topic I'm very passionate about. I'm going to break one of the cardinal rules of civilized society this week. You know, in today's society, it's been said that it is uncivilized to discuss religion and politics. Well, guys, with just days until the 2020 presidential election, I am going to talk about both. I want to discuss the responsibility of a man of God during this election. Did you know that in 2016, 40 million evangelicals who registered to vote stayed home and didn't vote? 40 million. It is time for God's men to rise and make their voice heard before it's too late. Now, a quick heads up as we go forward with this podcast. Even though I have very strong opinions on who I'm voting for, I am not going to endorse either candidate in this podcast. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to even mention either candidate's name in this podcast. What we're going to do is discuss some key issues I feel every man of God must think through the importance of and then decide on their own which candidate you think supports your convictions on each topic. So let's get started, guys. The first issue I want to discuss with you is, in my opinion, one of the most important issues in this election, and that is abortion. Men, we need to stand against abortion and acknowledge it is murder. Wow, Jamie, that sounds so harsh, you might be thinking. But is it? I don't really think it is. The world is full of voices defending this cause or that group. They're standing up for other people of every race, sex, and creed, except for babies. The irony is, these infants need people standing up and defending them more than anyone else. Why? Because they can't do it themselves. The World Health Organization predicts that 56 million innocent babies are aborted each year. 56 million. That is way more than drunk driving, cancer, COVID-19, AIDS, and so many other death-causing issues. While all of these causes have advocates, who speaks out for these innocent babies? I honestly can't fathom that people not only don't advocate against killing these babies, but they put time, money, and energy into advocating for the right to murder them. It is sickening. And it's only getting worse, guys. In the past, pro-abortion advocates, especially in politics, would advocate for early-term abortion, but were mostly against late-term abortion. And yet, in 2019, several states passed laws not only allowing abortions up to the point of birth, but in some cases, after the child is born alive. How horrible is that? The truth is, modern science has made people aware that abortion is taking life. We know as early as 5 weeks that the baby has a heartbeat. 5 weeks. Most women don't even recognize they're pregnant that soon. Yet, each year millions choose to end a pregnancy. People know what they're doing is wrong. And how do I know this? Because many of the pro-abortion people who want their baby and carry the pregnancy to full term refer to their baby throughout the pregnancy. They call it he or she, not a fetus. They get an ultrasound of their baby, not a fetus. They don't have fetus reveal parties or fetus showers. It's a baby unless they don't want it or it's inconvenient. Then it's a fetus. The pro-abortion lobby exposes their lies via their own hypocrisy. Abortion isn't a medical issue or even a political issue. It is a sin issue. Women say they have a right to choose what to do with their bodies. However, the body that is in question is not theirs. It is the body of the life inside of them. The Bible calls us to speak out for justice and help those who cannot help themselves. And this is why abortion is not a woman's issue. It is an issue of life. As men of God, we should be the voice of these innocent babies. We need to be proudly pro-life and stand against the injustice of abortion. We are the only voice they have. They can't fight for themselves. We must fight for them. We need to support the March for Life. We must support pro-life politicians and reject any politicians who aren't pro-life. I personally will never support or vote for a pro-choice candidate. You need to examine your heart and see what you believe about the right to life, and you need to find out which candidate lines up with your view and then vote accordingly. Number 2 issue I want to talk about with you, religious freedom. Guys, in 2020, we have seen an attack on our religious freedom unlike ever before. The world is trying to intimidate and silence Christians. COVID has given them an opportunity to do just that. They shut down the church, they closed their doors, and in many states they have placed strong limits on how many can attend church, and in some states they've even refused to allow churches to reopen. Churches were labeled non-essential, and nothing is further from the truth. Church is the most essential thing in the world. But Jamie, it's because of the virus. Everyone was forced to close, not just churches. You're probably thinking that to yourself. And that's true, but many states allowed bars and casinos and movie theaters and restaurants and even strip clubs to reopen, but they have refused to allow churches to reopen. Churches are being singled out and being forced to close or have stricter limitations than any other business. They are using COVID to attack the kingdom of God and our religious freedom. People are packing into Walmarts and the Home Depots, but they can't go to their house of worship. People can stand shoulder to shoulder to protest causes, but they can't stand shoulder to shoulder to worship their God. Religion and Christianity are under attack. I fully believe persecution is coming for the church in the future. They will blame us for one side winning over another side when we vote, and if we don't vote, the secularists win, and they will use their power to come after us and shut Christianity and the church down. Persecution is coming. Who do you want governing you when it arrives? You must vote for Christian freedom. A third area we must consider when we vote is making sure we do not lose our freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is under attack. Facebook and Twitter are silencing stories they don't like. The media chooses what is news based on whose side it helps and whose it hurts. Social justice warriors try to silence believers, saying we commit hate crime simply for speaking biblical truths. They want to silence us and take our voice away. We must rise and make our voices heard. It starts with our vote. I have a few more things believers must consider when they vote, and I'm going to bring these thoughts to you right after this break, guys.
Yep. You're listening to the Mantour Guy podcast.
Guys, we have something brand new for you as we head into 2021. For the first time ever, Mantour Ministries has put together a one-year Bible reading plan called Burning Daylight. This 365-day Bible reading plan will consist of 6 days of Bible reading specifically planned for men and 1 day of a devotional each week for all 52 weeks of the year. It is completely free. You can sign up for this daily Bible reading plan at mantourministries.com/Bible plan today. It's time we know what we believe as men of God, and we develop our convictions, and these convictions are developed through God's Word. And to develop these convictions, you got to know what the Bible says. So sign up today for our free one-year Bible reading plan, Burning Daylight, at mantourministries.com Bible plan. That's mantourministries.com/Bible plan.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Like what you're hearing? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Thanks.
Technology is amazing. So are your kids. How your amazing kids use amazing technology may amaze you. It can teach them another language, help them with their homework, show them the world, encourage creativity, and connect them with others. And that's good. But it can also be harmful. Did you know about 90% of children age 16 have seen pornography online, most while doing their homework? Even at young ages, porn is the norm. It's not a matter of if they see porn, but when. Do you know how kids use technology today? How do you talk to them about online pornography? How do you start the conversation? These questions are answered in a free, easy, practical parenting guide. Parenting the Internet Generation from Covenant Eyes equips parents with the tools they need to be observant, engaged, and informed about their child's technology use. It will teach you what to do if your child sees a questionable commercial or advertisement, where to turn after they see pornography, and how to create a trusting environment where it's safe to talk about any topic. Help your kids build healthy habits online. Download Parenting the Internet Generation today.
Sign up for Covenant Eyes using the code Mantour at checkout and receive 1 month of free service. Visit covenanteyes.com today to sign up. And remember, 1 month of free service when you use the code Mantour. That's MANTOUR.
Don't forget to visit iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Thanks.
You asked, we answered. For the past few years, we had so many men request an audio version of our books, and we are happy to bring you our first ever audiobook. Check out this sample from Whatever It Takes Men's Edition audiobook. Over the years of my life, I've been faced with this question over and over again as God repeatedly asked me to take new leaps of faith, to follow Him blindly wherever He leads, to go boldly into new areas of life and ministry, to give everything up for Him, and to do whatever it takes to follow His calling on my life. Over and over, I have made the reckless decision to follow Jesus. Even though I didn't always know where that would take me, I knew that I loved Jesus and wanted His will for my life. You can get your copy today at Amazon, Audible Books, and iTunes. Visit mantourministries.com/whateverittakes, all one word, for more information.
Welcome back to the Mantour Guy podcast.
Welcome back, guys, as we look at the need for men of God to show up at the polls and vote this election season. The fourth issue I believe that a man of God must consider when choosing who he will vote for is making sure the Constitution stays as the defining document in our country. There is a movement in America to change our country from a capitalist, free society and make it into a socialist society. Socialism is a cancer trying to infest the USA, and it must be stopped and destroyed at the ballot box. Our founding fathers established this country as a free society with liberty and justice for all. Socialism will undo all of that. It will take away our freedom and our liberty. It will take away our freedom to make our own financial, health, safety, and well-being decisions. The government will control everything. You will work for the government, and they will tell you what you can keep and what you can have, and they will crush anyone who opposes them. Socialism must not be allowed to take over this country. A fifth issue, guys, that you need to think about when you vote is which candidate supports my vote counting the way the Founding Fathers intended. All right, what do I mean by that? The Founding Fathers set America up as a representative republic. People argue we were set up as a democracy and that the popular vote should decide elections, but that isn't true. We are a representative republic, not a democracy. Each state gets a say in who is elected president. The Founding Fathers established an electoral college, ensuring that all 50 states have skin in the game of who leads us. You need to support candidates who support the electoral college. If that electoral college is ever removed, New York, California, Florida, and Texas will decide every election, and the other 46 states will become irrelevant. One final point, guys, I want to make for you to consider when you are deciding who to vote for is which candidate will represent your beliefs best in the judges they would appoint to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is a huge issue in every election, and even though we recently saw a nominee be put in for confirmation, doesn't mean it's no longer an issue. We currently have one justice who's in their 80s and two who are in their 70s. Plus, who knows what would happen with any justice at any time health-wise? We just don't know. Only God controls that. Which candidate will appoint justices who support your views on religious freedom, free speech, life, the Constitution, and a host of other issues? Which candidate's platform and positions, not their personality, but their platform and positions, best lines up with yours? That is who you need to vote for to be the president. That's who you need to vote for to control the Senate. That's who you need to vote for to control your local government. That is who you need to vote for to be the person making nominations to the highest court of our land.
The Mantour Guy's final thought.
Guys, I truly believe this is a make or break election for our country. Too much is on the line for us to stay at home or stay silent. As I said at the beginning of this podcast, 40 million evangelicals who are registered voters didn't vote in 2016. This, guys, is disgraceful. The Constitution starts off with 3 powerful words. We, the people. Government works for us. We control who runs government. We have the power. We have the ability to choose the direction of our country through our vote. We, the people, need to vote for life, religious freedom, freedom of speech, and to keep this country a free country. You cannot sit on the sidelines anymore. One thing I often hear is many say they don't love either candidate. But you know what? That isn't what we're called to do. That should not be the standard, whether you love the politician or not. We are not called to love a politician. We love the public policy the politician stands on. You don't have to like the person, but you have to know that they will stand firm for what you believe and will lead the country where you want it to go. We cannot afford to sit this one out. You must vote. The 40 million who didn't vote could turn this election if they showed up, and they could secure the courts for a decade. They could protect the right to have church and worship freely, to save free speech, to see the cruelty of murdering unborn babies end, to see America stay free. Socialism would lose and freedom would win. We must vote. The Church of God is the sleeping giant. Wake up before it's too late. Wake up. Make your voice heard. You cannot sit this one out. It's too important. You got to get yourself to vote. You got to take your friends and your families, get them to vote. Talk to your neighbors. Find anybody you can and get them to the election places to cast their vote. This election's too important. Too much is on the line. Too much freedom and religious freedom and life and so many other issues are on the line this election. You don't have to love the candidates. You have to love what they stand for and what decisions and the platform they are running on. Vote your issues. Vote for the person who's going to do the things that you want, and vote for the candidate who is you want governing you when the hard times come on this country, and especially on the church and on believers. Well, guys, we are out of time for this week. Thank you for listening and for taking to heart these words I so passionately have poured out. They are burning in my heart to make this election count. But guys, thanks for listening. Give us your time to listen. I would love it if you took a second and shared this podcast to your social media accounts. We'd love to be able to reach even more men and help them grow in their walk with God. Don't forget, guys, you can subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. Also, guys, remember, we are now available on Amazon Music. You can listen on Amazon Music on the app, or if you have an Alexa device, you can just say, Alexa, play the Mantour Guy podcast, and she'll play you the latest episode. Guys, the more ratings and reviews you leave, the more men can find us in their searches. Also, guys, visit MantourMinistries.com. All the conference dates, speakers, locations, everything, the promos, everything for the 2021 Mantours are there. They are available. The site has been updated. You can even register now for your local Mantour. You can check out our books, our resources. Everything's available, so check it out. And also, you can sign up for our new 1-year Bible reading plan. It's going to start on January 1st. You can find that at MantourMinistries.com/Bible plan. We talked about that in our commercial break. You can find out more about it and see a sample of the plan at MantourMinistries.com/Bible plan. But guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the Mantour Guy podcast. Get out there and vote, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Mantour Guy podcast. Be sure to visit MantourMinistries.com to learn more about our books, men's ministry resources, and our Mantour conferences.
Have you been looking for a Bible study that you can work through with your wife? Maybe you want to do devotional time with your daughter. Guys, we have the answer for you. You can buy both the men's and women's edition of Whatever It Takes for $15. This amazing deal is only available at our Mantour Ministries online store. If you go to Amazon, it is $14.99 for just the men's version. So many men are buying both versions and going through them with their wives and daughters. Do not miss this opportunity. Take advantage of this amazing deal today at mantourministries.com and click on the online store button.
Order your copy today at mantourministries.com.
Hey guys, Jamie Holden here, the Mantour Guy. And so often men tell me that they can't afford to use Covenant Eyes. And my immediate response back is, dude, you can't afford not to use Covenant Eyes. For 53 cents a day, you can protect every computer, every laptop, every tablet and cell phone that you and your family own from the trap of internet pornography. I tell them for 53 cents a day or $16 a month, you can make sure your little girls never stumble onto pornography as she uses Snapchat or does any internet searches while doing her homework. For 53 cents a day, you can make sure your son never falls into the trap of pornography or even sees it accidentally while online. I say for 53 cents a day, you can protect your wife from getting trapped in the trap of internet porn and protect your marriage. And I tell them for 53 cents a day, you can help break the cycle of internet pornography that's been holding in your life. Guys, you and your family, and most importantly, your walk with God, cannot afford for you not to use Covenant Eyes. So, head to mantourministries.com and hit the Covenant Eyes button in the upper right hand corner to get 1 month of free service. Try it out. I know you're going to love it. You're never going to regret it. Guys, do it today. You can't afford not to have Covenant Eyes be a part of your life.
The Mantour Guy Podcast, helping men grow in their walk with God.